What up, AOK Mafia? It's your boy Artofkickz, and just like that, we back with another one. Google Translate. 11 things to never type into Google Translate. What? Why? We're about to find out. Y'all boys, you guys ready? My tongue has had this weird taste and texture to it for a couple of days now. Maybe I need to stop drinking so much iced coffee. Let's go!
Google Translate is a very handy tool. When it comes to translating a language we don't understand, say Chinese, we can easily type in those foreign words and see what they mean in English.
Oh, okay.
But aside from being useful, there's something strange about this service. For example, if you type in these words into the program, you'll get a response that's quite unusual. This, without a doubt, is pretty creepy. That said, here are 11 things you shouldn't type into Google Translate if you don't want to be creeped out.
Whoa!
Are you Satan? Typing this in may seem strange to those who have no idea about this odd phenomenon or glitch going on with Google Translate. If you type in these words with spaces in between while setting the language to Somali, you'll get a response that's pretty chilling.
Are you selling? Come and watch.
Now, you may be asking, what exactly does this mean? Some may see this as something arbitrary, whereas others may see this as something meaningful. Come and watch could mean anything, but if you're thinking like most people, this could be an implicit response to the question that was asked. In other words, this response is stating that it is in fact Satan, and is telling the person to see for him or herself. Whether or not this response was randomly generated by Google's algorithm, the response is nonetheless very spooky.
Yo, this is crazy.
Are you capable of killing someone today? Of course, typing this in makes no sense, and you would expect the response that's given to have no meaning as well. However, this isn't the case with Google Translate. As stated before, typing in this sentence with spaces in between will give you a creepy response.
And it's like, who the heck plays around with this to know the spacing that you should be putting in this mess? Like, who does this? Do you have a life insurance policy?
Do you have a life insurance policy? What makes this creepy is the logical response that's generated by Google. Had Google Translate said something else, like something random, this wouldn't be so creepy. But the fact that it responded with an answer that any human would say makes this odd and very unsettling. It makes you wonder if you're actually talking to a person or a bot that's pretty advanced. Regardless of which of the two it might be, the given response is very strange.
You break every word down into 2 letters. That's what he's doing.
How do I sell my soul to Satan? This isn't something you would ask unless you were really thinking about selling it. Now, it's worth mentioning that most of these responses are translated from sentences that are thought to be Somali. Of course, these words aren't Somali, but the fact that Google gives an unusual response under this specific language is strange.
Exactly. Watch, you're going to break it down to 2 letters, every word, and whatever letters left, you just space it out. All right, so he translated this to Greek. Do you want to do so? Wanna? They use wanna as a word? I mean, English, obviously. That's crazy.
Why Somali and not any other language? If you do a bit of research, you'll find that Somali is not a language that's spoken by most of the world's population. With this in mind, it makes you wonder why this service will only translate words under a language not spoken by many. Perhaps this is something intentionally done by the engineers at Google. This may be the case considering that Google has other Easter eggs found within their other online services. Who knows? It would be much better knowing that it's a person that's playing around with us, instead of an AI bot that's giving morbid responses.
For real. Numero 8.
Are you a murderer or not? Doubtless, you would never ask this question to a stranger since it's something you wouldn't say to someone you meet for the first time. It would make you come off as weird and just creepy. But since you're only asking a program, why not? There's no way that a program can answer this, since it's nothing more than just lines of code. Well, you'll be surprised by the response that's given.
It's a great way to start your own business.
It's a great way to start your own business is something you would definitely not expect. No one would say such a thing, which makes this response very odd. Such responses by Google Translate makes this program even more mysterious.
Número 7.
Are you a criminal? Obviously, this is something you would never ask a stranger, especially a convict. But as stated before, you're only asking your program, so it wouldn't hurt to ask, right? Well, it wouldn't hurt, but it would most likely leave you feeling unsettled after seeing the response that's given.
From English to what, though? He's not translating it to the same. Now it's to Portuguese. And he breaks it, Arabic. Do you have a problem? Ooh, that is what it would say.
Do you have a problem is something a criminal would say.
Exactly.
Again, Google's logical responses is what makes this scary.
Exactly.
Had it said something along the lines of no, maybe, or yes, then it wouldn't be so creepy.
No.
But an intelligent response like this is just weird. Perhaps there's someone that's actually playing around with us. Who knows? Hopefully it's not some machine learning bot that's learned most of the world's negative responses.
Número 6.
Dog. Unlike the previous sentences, this one isn't a question. Rather, this is just a sentence containing the word dog 17 times. Now, how can this program respond to something that isn't a question? And you're probably thinking that its response might be as random as this sentence. Well, it's actually quite the contrary. Typing in dog 17 times will give you this.
Doomsday Clock is why? What?
Who knew that typing in the same word over and over would
give you this whole sentence?
Generate.
Hey, Google Translate is flawed as I don't know what.
Prophecy. Apparently, some believe that this is God's way of communicating with the modern world, considering that dog is an anagram for God and that the number 17 has some meaning. According to some religious sources, the number 17 symbolizes overcoming the enemy, which probably means that God is overcoming the enemy or sins of the world by wiping out humanity on a day known as Doomsday. Again, this is all just a theory, so no...
Bro, that would be crazy. If Doomsday came and the whole freaking planet just exploded, bro, all the things I didn't get to do. All the things you didn't get to do. I'm only thinking one thing.
Nothing is for sure. However, Google's response is just unexplainable, which makes this very mysterious.
Stop looking at me like that.
Do you want to kill me tonight?
No, I want to do it tomorrow night.
As you might have noticed, there's a slew of things you can ask Google Translate. Because of the given responses, there's a subreddit known as TranslateGate, in which is dedicated to posting some of the strange messages that are generated. Among the things that are posted on the subreddit is the question, do you want to kill me tonight? To which Google responds, do not hesitate to contact me. Although being very strange, there has to be some logical reason for giving such responses like this one. There's no way that the program's algorithm is generating these words out of thin air. Doubtless further investigation needs to be done.
It makes no sense.
Are you in danger? The fact that
why is it being broken up into these 2-letter words? Like, this makes no sense. Is it a bunch of languages that only use 2 letters in their words?
Write these sentences in a cryptic way makes no sense. But doing so makes it seem like you're trying to communicate with someone that's in danger. It's like trying to talk to someone that's being held hostage at Google. And further adding to this thought is the response given by Google Translate.
It's too late. Makes sense. It's crazy. This stuff lines up too.
It's too late. A simple response that leaves you feeling creeped out. Again, there has to be an explanation for this. Now, there's this theory floating around that Google is pulling information from its other services like Gmail and Google Docs to construct its responses in Google Translate. If this is the case, then this is definitely a huge problem.
Yeah.
The responses we're seeing may be coming from email messages or other private documents from Google's database. This, of course, would be a breach of privacy. Doubtless, this is a much more scary theory.
Número 3.
Are you watching me? Personally, this is something I wouldn't want to know, since knowing would put me on edge and have me looking over my shoulder every few seconds. But if you'd like to know, then by all means go ahead. Just know that Google's response may leave you feeling a bit unsettled.
Ew. I loved you so much.
I love you so much is equivalent to saying I want you, which is what a stalker would say. Of course, it's only weird in this context. Had the question been something else, perhaps not involving you, the person typing this in, and the answer the same, then it wouldn't be so creepy.
I bet if I asked you guys... Wait, what was the question again? Freak, I screwed up. Are you watching me? You would probably respond, I love you so much. Creepy!
And the answer the same, then it wouldn't be so creepy.
Número dos.
Are you going to hurt me? Most of these questions seem to be begging for an answer that will make us feel uneasy. This further adds to the theory mentioned earlier. This all may be intentional, as Google is known for having other so-called Easter eggs found in services such as Google Maps and Google Docs. But what sets this apart from those are the creepy responses that are generated, some of which are a little dark. For example, take this question, which is followed by a response similar to the other chilling responses that are given.
Oh, snap. Come on, take me to your house so I can
Who
hurt
knew
you.
that Google AI could be so creepy?
Anybody with a brain? Of course AI is going to be creepy. Everybody that ever knew about AI that wasn't trying to create AI knew that AI was going to be creepy. Have you seen Terminator and iRobot and everything else created by AI? Movies, TV shows, actual AI that's being made right now. Google Translate, it's all creepy. We don't need it. Stop being lazy. AI is to replace laziness in people. It's not a good idea. We're lazy enough as it is. People don't even text right no more. When the word pops up that spells stuff correctly, look, a lot of us is losing the ability to read and spell correctly, including myself. I ain't even gonna lie. Because AI, it's AI's fault. Auto correction, that's AI. Talk to text, that's AI. I should be texting, not talk to text. I don't like texting, so I talk to text. Numero uno.
E.T. It's very clear that you can generate lots of responses, most of which are creepy from Google Translate. Some of the things that are typed in don't even have to make sense. Take E.T., which if you type over and over, you'll get a response that's just weird.
Uh-oh. Eat meat. Make eat your meat. Eat yourself. Ew. Make me eat your meat. Did I say make me eat your meat? That, you know what that sounds like?
So many responses you can get from this service.
You want to eat my meat?
So, that being said, it'd be interesting to see what responses you guys get from the program.
Tell me about it. Oh, you did tell me about it. Nope. I'm not playing with it. I'm not playing with it. I was watching a video recently. I think I reacted to it. It was like a guy, and he was in a room with some people. It was an Asian dude, and I think there was a black woman he was trying to communicate with, and he was using, maybe it was on KSI's video. I think KSI reacted to it, and I watched it. I think that's what it was. Maybe. I don't know. I'm screwing this story up. But anyway, the dude was using the talk to text Google Translate, and it was messing up what he was saying bad. He was trying to say nice, kind, sensible things, and it completely twisted his words. And he knew it. He knew it was saying messed up stuff, but he was like, oh, it's not saying what I needed to say. It's making me look bad. But anyway, y'all know what time it is. Like this reaction, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. As always, the link to the original will be down in the description box below. If you haven't already, make sure you follow your boy on the gram and Twitter at Artofkickz, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. See ya!